Hi guys, welcome to another happy hour episode. This episode is requested by no one, but I thought it was so interesting that I just had to do it, and I convinced Alex to do it with me, and now I'm super curious to know her thoughts. And I didn't even introduce it. It's drugs. It's drugs. We do not condone nor discondone drugs, or neither like pro nor con. Is really up to you. I haven't tried like none of it, like almost zero out of the 16. Oh yeah, and then we're drinking water because we didn't want to give preference to alcohol or something.
Okay, so I'll start with ISTJ. For ISTJ, I put heroin.
What a fun way to start the day.
Yeah, I feel like FI and SI in combination are kind of like the most sentimental ones, and I feel like if there was something in the past that happened that was particularly painful, then like an opiate like that might be helpful at kind of numbing that down. Also, apparently there's an initial feeling of euphoria, and I kind of associated that with FI. It's also the more kind of potent or distilled form of opium, so I thought of that as like very SI specificity.
For ISTJ, I put Ritalin because ISTJ just seems to be the Ritalin of the world. Like it makes you pay attention.
Right.
It's a drug for ADHD. I feel like if I had an ISTJ manager, I would just have to pay more attention. It increases your concentration, increases your focus, performance enhancing, and it's a lot of times parents wrongly, of course, give this to their kids, so it's a lot of it is academic environment, which you find a lot of ISTJs in academic environments,
right,
due to their high SI.
So for INTJ, this is kind of random, but I said roofie or like Rohypnol.
Okay.
It's like a sedative, so I thought of like mostly like depressants or sedatives as like introversion. Apparently it completely paralyzes you, and I feel like that's how an unhealthy INTJ in like an IFI loop might be, without access to like their TESE to like do things. Also, a fun thing that I thought was kind of associative is that roofies give you partial amnesia when you're taking it. And I feel like NI is just like constant partial amnesia. It's like, I generally remember what happened, but like I don't remember any specifics of anything.
That's so interesting. Wow, I love this video topic already. I put crack. It says this is a more concentrated form of cocaine, or a different type of cocaine. It says it causes supreme confidence and supreme euphoria. So I thought of it as like, man, the way that you talk to me about or channel growth, just that NITE singular vision confidence gives me supreme confidence and supreme euphoria. And that crack is like extremely addictive, and I find INTJs really addictive. So this one's really personal. Many people find INTJs addictive because they give so like little reassurance back, you know? You give like a lot and they give like a little bit back, and it's like this intermittent reinforcement thing. You're like, oh, when am I gonna get my next INTJ hit? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I feel really bad about that. Okay, moving on. ESTJ. So for ESTJ, I said cocaine. It's like hyperstimulation. I feel that's very much like TENE, just like doing things and like getting all this NE information. Yeah, and apparently like it can increase talkativeness, and I feel like with the SI-NE kind of axis, and especially tertiary NE working along with TE, can probably just make an ESTJ very talkative and very expressive.
It's not that different. Oh my gosh, I put caffeine, I'm like, not that. No, because they're both stimulants. It jolts you awake and makes you clear-headed and detail-seeing. Another performance-enhancing drug, and it's one of the most popular, which is funny because ESTJs are one of the most prevalent MBTI types, and caffeine is really prevalent, and you find a lot of it in the workplace. You find a lot of like ESTJs in the workplace.
Oh my gosh, I love that. ENTJ, I said amphetamines. I guess I forgot to say that last time, but like all the stimulants I kind of classified as extroverts. Apparently it gives you this feeling of power and confidence, so I thought that like that's kind of this TESE combo that I associate, I guess. Oh, sorry, I thought I had more.
I put cocaine. It says increased feelings of competence and sexuality, which just screams like TE and SE. And also it's really prevalent in like upper level management and corporations, and I definitely was thinking of like Wolf of Wall Street when I was thinking of their cocaine usage and ENTJs.
For ISFJ, I put salvia. Apparently salvia gives you like this disassociated out of body experience. And I kind of thought as like both SI and TI are kind of like that in a sense, that
they're in the matrix, yeah.
Yeah, they're in the matrix, and so yeah, it gives you the sense of time-space distortion, and I feel like SI and TI is already like time-space distortion.
It's really associative. This one's the most SI one I have. I put tobacco or nicotine. It's kind of a paradox because it's a stimulant and relaxant, because I think of ISFJs as actually one of the most logical thinkers. I mean, logical feelers are like a feeler, but then they have tertiary TIs, it makes them really like logical, knowledgeable. It has a super, super long history, which I think of as SI, and it's very socially charged. Even now, like whether you smoke or not is like a huge social issue. Like it's like Cupid question, I forgot to say. Way back in the day, like men were allowed to smoke, but women didn't unless you're like a sex worker basically, and then they would use like the lighting of the cigarettes as like a cue that, you know, we're going to do something later. Basically, the tobacco in history is saying a lot about you and your social position. And I feel like ISFJs say a lot about themselves and their social position or standing.
Wow. INFJ. So for INFJ, I put hash or hashish. Wait, what is it again? Okay. So it's like a more distilled form of marijuana, I guess. So I thought of that as like this kind of Ni distillation into this like singular substance. Just generally, I guess there's like hallucinations and increased sensory perceptions. I thought of that as like SE. And then this whole kind of like marijuana, like deeper understanding. I think that's very like Ni and Ti in conjunction.
This one, I feel like I just knew this one. It's ayahuasca.
I don't even know.
It's okay. It's that like Native American like ritual thing where like they sit by a bonfire and then they all take this drug and they all have these grand visions. It's a social ritual, which is really FE, and you're supposed to find the role of yourself in the universe, which is just like so NIFE to me, and TI. Usually people vomit after taking it, but then the like Native American legend is just that you're just purging all of the negative emotions that you've built up, which is the most INFJ thing I've ever heard in my life. Look at my notes, they're horrendous. It's like, who does this? Actually, just the long history, like it's been used for thousands of years, just made me think of something really natural. Oh yeah, it's like a natural plant thing, so it's like really natural and down to earth. And with the whole like Native American thing, like spirituality and like mysticism, everything was just like INFJ.
So for ESFJ, I put peyote, and I don't know if that's like a similar substance.
A little bit. I think it's different technically. Okay. Socially, it might be similar, but I think it's completely different.
Okay. But yeah, there's also like this hallucinatory kind of thing about it, which I thought of like as NE. But I thought, it was kind of the same INFJ reasons, where it was like there's this FE kind of like social structure or like social ritual kind of around taking it. And then it's kind of like taken for like religious uses or for like enlightenment and in this kind of group setting. So I thought of that as like a dominant FE thing.
Oh, this is gonna be so bad. I put sugar because it will make you feel good, but it'll also make you fat because ESFJs bake a lot and you will just eat it and you will become fat. My mom bakes so much. I don't know why ESFJs bake so much, and they give you a lot of emotional support. Sugar is said to be like 10 times as addictive as cocaine, and I think if you're the right type of person, you can get addicted to ESFJ and all their positive emotional support and cookies.
Okay, ENFJ. For ENFJ, I put MDMA. And hold on for a second because I forgot what the... Oh, okay, that's ecstasy. Okay, got it. So again, it's like a kind of stimulant, and it's like this extroverted thing. Enhanced sensory perception that you get with it, I feel as like that's SE. And then I think the main thing it gives you is like this feelings of like euphoria or like affection or like connection to the people around you. So I thought of that as dominant FE.
I put hashish. So yeah, it is a more concentrated form of cannabis. It is. I think of hashish as more like a social thing. Yeah, because you like sit in a circle, you smoke this like hookah pipe or whatever, and you pass it around. It just seemed like really social and almost ritualistic. It gives you like altered perception, which I somehow in my sick mind thought of as FE inspiration. Like you imagine an ENFJ like giving this riling speech about like the injustices that might actually warp actual reality because it's so emphatic.
ISFP. For ISFP, I put GHB. And again, I have to...
I don't know what that is.
Oh shoot, I don't know what that is either. Because it's similar to the INTJ with the same functions, and that was also like kind of a date rape drug.
Oh.
It's like a sedative kind of thing. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's sedative, which I thought is introverted. Apparently there's a sense of euphoria, which I thought of as kind of like FI. I guess it gives a sense of tranquility and also like increased sex drive, and I thought of both of those as kind of like SE experiences.
So I put opium. It has like this long and romantic history that just screams like FI and SE with like the Orient or Asia, you know. Yeah, apparently in China it was like associated with like bedroom activities for a while, which we both somehow associate with ISFP. Okay, but the main reason is that it came from a beautiful poppy flower. And I just thought that was just so like, oh, FISE, I'm just a flower, I'm so good for everyone, but then also I'll take away all of your pain.
So similar, because for INFP, I put opium.
So we get the romantic drug.
Yeah.
No drugs are romantic.
Same with ISTJ, but opium I guess is like a less refined form. So I thought of that as kind of more potential NE experiences that you could have with that, maybe because there's more substances with it. But the same reason that it's like this kind of numbing of the pain, and that probably like FI, SI, or just a stereotype of like the pained INFP artist kind of suits like what you would use opium for, I guess.
Oh, I was thinking of the ISFP opium as like it numbs other people's pain. Like looking at ISFP, oh, they're also struggling with tea. My pain is gone. For INFP, what did I even put? Oh, I put marijuana, which is funny because I don't like marijuana at all. But it makes you relax, I think. If you're around an INFP, you get relaxed. It makes you like prone to philosophical thinking, which I think of as NE. Like the way I talk to you is like, have you thought about this? You're like, oh. And yeah, it's just like it's supernatural. It's cannabis, kind of hippie, and may cause anxiety and paranoia. And I just thought of that as a lot of like high FE users or low FE users, FE users have said that like, oh, I can't tell like how you're feeling or like what are you, so like just me expressing myself in a weird way can make other people feel kind of like, what, like does she not like me or something, like paranoid.
Right. Yeah. ESFP. So for ESFP I put meth. So it's a stimulant again, so I thought of that as extroversion. Again, it was like the power and confidence you get from using it, which just felt like a kind of TESE thing. And again, this is like the less refined version of amphetamine, I guess, is methamphetamine. So I thought of it as like, yeah, there's more substances in there for like higher SE to experience.
ESFP, I definitely put ecstasy. It gives you a sense of euphoria, self-confidence, enhanced perception and sexuality. So the confidence, like TE, and the enhanced stuff is like SE. And most importantly, it's very prevalent in raves and club parties and dance parties. And I think that's where a lot of ESFPs hang out.
ENFP. So for ENFP, I put crack.
I don't know, the word crack is really funny. It's really bad.
I think it's the way I say it. Okay.
Yeah, you sound really happy. For ENFP, I put crack.
So again, it's like this hyper stimulation, and for some reason I thought of that as like a combo of like this NE, like seeing all the potential connections and ideas, right? And then TE, seeing like all the potential things that could be done and could be accomplished and could be executed. So I guess crack is like a less refined version of cocaine. It has like additional substances in it, and because of that, it can like make the usage of it a little bit more unpredictable, like as to how it would affect you because you probably get a different batch every time. So I thought of that as like higher NE.
Oh, that's
unpredictable.
So NE, yeah. Oh, so cute. I put meth. It's highly addictive. I honestly like cannot stop talking to my ENFP friends. I find them highly addictive. Yeah, it's an aphrodisiac. It mess up your SI schedule because this is the main reason I put it for meth. Apparently people have these like play parties in which they take meth and just like do it for days on straight. I feel like that just screams low SI to me. It will like totally mess up your routine because you're so into this one like FI thing that you're like in it, and then just like disappear for days, and so like, where did you go? I was at an ENFP party.
ISTP. So for ISTP, I put marijuana. It's like the hallucinations and the increased sensory perception is SE. The whole TI, NI kind of deeper understanding or deeper thought that you experience. Marijuana is the less refined version of like hash or hashish, and so there's probably like more compounds for the SE to experience.
For ISTP, I admit I kind of like started running out of drugs here, so I put nitrous oxide, which is called laughing gas. Also, it's causes euphoria and slight hallucinations. But the main reason I was using it is not using. The main reason I put it is it's used as a anesthesia, like for surgeries. I just kind of transformed the whole like ISTP ninja thing into an ISTP surgeon. It's supposed to numb your pain and soothe you while you're about to go under a dental office or something like that. And also it makes you like happy, which is why it's called laughing gas. And I think of the ISTP as like rather relaxed and laid back, despite the whole like TI exterior.
INTP. So for INTP, I put ketamine. So again, it's kind of a sedative, so that goes with introversion. It's kind of a hallucination drug, and I associated that with like NE. It also kind of gives you that out-of-body disassociation thing. And again, I kind of associated that with like the whole TI, SI, kind of both of those axes as like this universalist perspective and kind of already like an out-of-body experience.
I really wanted to put LSD because it's cool. It's like altered perception of your surroundings. Like I hear of people taking microdoses of LSD to enhance creativity, which is in E, and like effectiveness in the tech world. Funny enough, like there's a lot of good effects of LSD, which is why like a bunch of artists and musicians started taking it. And it was part of this whole counterculture movement, which I also think of as like TI and NE, like just not fitting into the FE norm. Oh, and it also gives you an altered perception of your surroundings and gives you visions. And I kind of thought of it as like when you talk too much to an INTP, like your perceptions of how the world works will warp.
Right. Okay, ESTP. I put Ecstasy for ESTP. So it's like an extroverted kind of drug. It enhances SE, sensory perception. It kind of gives you these feelings of affection for other people, which is FE. And then plus Ecstasy might be mixed in with additional things like MDMA plus like caffeine maybe. So I thought of like high SI is like very alert and observant, like caffeine would make you.
Oh, like SE?
Yeah.
Okay, for ESTP, this is like the first one I put down. Alcohol. So ESTPs, they're found at all parties. Parties will have lots of ESTPs around, making people lose their social inhibitions through their rebellious behavior. Alcohol is more of a depressant, but it kind of makes you feel like things are sharper. So yeah, ESTP.
ENTP. So for ENTP, I put magic mushrooms.
Oh, magic mushrooms! That's the first and only match!
I think that was the first thing I put down. I was just like, ENTP just is magic mushrooms. Dominant NE seemed kind of like hallucinations to me, like seeing these alternate realities. Apparently using it may give this sense of kind of like spiritual awakening or kind of connect, like universal connectedness, and I thought of that as like the TI-FE axis.
Psilocybin. It says altered perceptions and visions, and the same thing with INTP. I think if you talk a lot to an ENTP, they will like change how you view the world. If you like are open to their ideas. It's usually used in social settings, and I think there's a talk of like how good or bad of a trip you get is based on your environment, which just screams like tertiary FE to me.
Right.
So match it.
Yay!
One match. This just speaks volumes about how little we know about drugs, which is good. So if you guys are more knowledgeable, please tell us where we messed up in the comments.
And yeah, keep giving us recommendations for these fun matching games that we do for the happy hours, because we do use them. Well, thanks as always for watching, you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!